It's Thursday, May 14, and it's time for your Barbados 3 morning news update. Opposition Senator CASWELL Franklyn says Barbadians are paying a salary for a position in the Royal Barbados Police Force that does not exist in law. In fact, Franklyn described the decision to appoint a second Deputy Commissioner of Police without the backing of the Police Act as bordering on corruption. Reacting to Tuesday's statement by Attorney General Dale Marshall on the issue, Franklyn said the second Deputy Commissioner, Oral Williams, should not be paid at that level because the post is illegal.
It is a nullity, meaning that it did not happen. He should not even be paid at that level. There is no provision for paying him any money anywhere. I don't know how to get money of the Treasury to pay, but we have two compliance civil servants who refuse to do their duty to the best of their ability. You should not be paid. But this is what I want to tell you how it's merely political interference in the public service. They wanted their man in, they put him in without checking or without getting the best possible advice. And it is bordering on corruption.
Barbados has the capacity to produce its own line of electric buses and save a valuable foreign exchange. That's the view of Ralph Busy Williams and his business partner Wayne Clark after they unveiled an electric bus that was assembled on the island. Following a successful test ride from the licensing authority in the Pine St. Michael to Bathsheba in St. Joseph yesterday, both Williams and Clark said the possibility of Barbados assembling electric buses was a very real one.
It has taken a long time to get this done and a lot of money. And we tell you the truth, if it wasn't for this gentleman here running out to try and get permits and beg people to pass thing and do, it was a nightmare. But anyhow, it is done. They've approved it. I didn't see the certificate in writing yet, but I think that the testing authorities have just told me that it's fine. They're very impressed, so we're happy with it.
Okay, in terms of replicating this, as I know this would have been a pilot project.
Yeah.
How possible is it to replicate?
It can be done. There's no question about it. I'm absolutely 100% confident it can be done. But rather, I would have to build a factory to produce these buses. They can't be produced in a little workshop that we built this one in. It would have to be a long production line thing, and we would have to train a lot of people to do the technology.
Clark explained that the initiative would have to be supported by government.
I think that this product will go a long way if it can receive at least some assistance and encouragement from government in terms, not in terms of actually their cooperation as I think, because at the end of the day, unless we have the concessions, unless everybody's on board also in expediting all the aspects, because it don't make no sense in giving you concessions and then every time then you have a delay, because part of a business is costs, and once we are allowed to streamline our costs and we can scale that bus, we can produce a lot of those buses which will redound one to the economic and social benefit for Barbados, because there's a lot of students coming out of SPPJ without no opportunities. There's an absence of opportunity right now existing in Barbados.
More still needs to be done to facilitate the disabled community during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, so says President of the Barbados Council for the Disabled, Kerry Eiffel, who has acknowledged that while government had made an effort to cater to disabled persons, there were still some areas that needed to be addressed.
In terms of accessing information, as is always the case for persons with disability, the flow of information for our use is necessary. There has been some inclusion, but not in every way and not for all things. So there has been a use of sign language, especially here in Barbados. They've used a lot especially for government presentations. But there are other things, church services, for example, that you don't see a lot of accessible media for persons who are hearing impaired, closed captioning, those kinds of things have not been readily utilized. Then there are other issues as well in terms of ensuring that information addresses persons with disabilities like other people.
Minister of People Empowerment Cynthia Ford has thanked fisher folk for donating hundreds of pounds of their catch to needy families amid the ongoing COVID-19 crisis. The minister said while social workers have been on the road distributing food hampers, the fish would be a valuable addition to the packages.
So we've been doing hampers all around, and corporate Barbados and some community groups and churches have also been doing hampers so that the food will trickle into households so that nobody goes to sleep at night hungry. And so the pork has been given, the foodstuffs have been given, and now the fish. And it says that we as a people in this time of COVID are reaching out to touch others and turn their lives around. And after COVID, we want for this to continue, but we will always have persons who will fall through the cracks for one reason or the other, and therefore it means that they will still be having their diet sustained, and they will be able to live a healthier life as long as the donations come in whatever form of food there is. I believe the milk farmers might soon come on board. The egg producers came on board already as well, and persons were able to get some eggs to be able to supplement their diet. So I want to thank Mr. Brathwaite and the entire team of Fisher Folk.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Caribbean governments are being urged to cut passenger taxes if they wish to remain competitive when air travel is restored. The advice is coming from Regional Vice President for the Americas with the International Air Transport Association, Peter CERDA. Speaking on the Caribbean Tourism Organization's podcast, COVID-19, the Unwanted Visitor, he warned that the aviation sector will emerge from the COVID-19 crisis with fewer carriers offering leaner services to fewer routes and flying smaller aircraft. And he said regional governments must prepare for this eventuality by taking the necessary steps to reduce the cost of air travel.
Then governments can also do, they can have other initiatives that help the international carriers continue to operate there, lowering passenger fees and taxation fees. One of the biggest problems that we've always faced in the Caribbean is a very highly taxed market, and it's always taxed on the airline side, on the passenger consumer side. And this will be a big challenge for the Caribbean once we leave, once we are able to escape from this crisis. And the reason I say this is for the first several months, people are going to be very hesitant to get on an airplane. Most of their travel will be near their homes. There is one advantage that the Caribbean has. It's its relatively close proximity to North America. So as you see North America's Americans beginning to have more confidence in air travel, they will have to decide where they go to. And they will want to be relatively close to their homes. And that's a great opportunity for the Caribbean.
And finally, gunmen stormed a maternity hospital in the western part of the Afghan capital, Kabul, killing at least 24 people, including newborn babies, their mothers, and an unspecified number of nurses. At least 16 people were injured. Tuesday's attack in Kabul prompted a widespread condemnation, but no group has taken responsibility for the deadly attack. That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.